Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Chorus Cornix, and welcome to Class Movie Rambles, where I talk about all movies that I found in my class while cleaning. This week is a bit different, however. I'm talking about a documentary that I saw from Cyber News called Notpetya, and it's about a ransomware. So the documentary starts in the middle of the night where a single computer gets infected by this malware, this ransomware. And the next morning, all the screens display a ransomware note saying $300 in Bitcoin to this Bitcoin wallet address. But it's just not this company that's affected. It's in fact the whole country. So everything from hospitals, banking services to gas stations. It's kind of crazy. And the group responsible for this is called the GRU or Sandworm. And they are in fact sponsored by the nation of Russia itself, which is super crazy. So this all happened during one of the Ukrainian holidays, which means that there was not a lot of cyber expert on staff at that point. So the company that was infected in the first place was called MeDoc. And it's kind of interesting how the hackers actually managed to get inside. And they used a tool called Mimikatz, which basically sniffs out passwords from people that are logged into a network. And the way that it works is, and back then this is kind of stupid because Microsoft didn't patch a vulnerability where Microsoft basically stored all passwords in clear text so everyone can see, and Mimikatz just points at it and there's the password. They also used two exploits that actually the CIA kind of developed, and they were taken or stolen by another group called the Shadow Brokers and sold on the dark web. So the tools that were used except for Mimikatz was Eternal Blue and Eternal Romance, which basically made it even easier for the hacker to infect other people. So even if you paid this ransomware that the Notpetya displayed on all the screens, you didn't work because this was not actually a ransomware. It was disguised as a ransomware, and it was actually a wiper. So once all the files were encrypted on your PC or their PCs, they couldn't be accessed. So this is, I'm kind of excited about it because this is something that's dear to my heart about cybersecurity. So this whole Notpetya spread further. So it actually infected Russia itself, some oil companies or gas companies, and it spread to Denmark, to the Maersk company, which deals with huge shipping containers and all over the world. It was kind of crazy. And the whole documentary ends with cyber experts actually explaining the whole events from how they figured out the kill switch to the whole Notpetya, but then it was too late. And it's actually a kind of interesting documentary. I recommend you watch it. So what did I think of this documentary? I find cybersecurity and penetration tests really interesting and hacking in general. So I can definitely recommend the book called Sandworm by Andy Greenberg, where he goes into much better detail. He explains it way better than I do. I also find it interesting that the whole reason that the Russians even got access to the to MeDoc and all that stuff was because they actually managed to buy something off the dark web that someone else hacked from the CIA. It's just crazy. So CIA actually knew about the vulnerability and actually getting remote access to Windows machines, and they just sat on it until they got hacked or they got stolen from them and sold, and the Russians got it. It's kind of crazy how cybersecurity actually works in defense. And when you're dealing with national states actors, there's basically you are defenseless because they have all these vulnerabilities that they can use against you. They have high funds, if almost limitless, and it's kind of scary. But I found it so fascinating because not a lot of people talk about it. They just sort of we don't want to talk about it because it's sensitive, how we got hacked. But the more people that talk about hacking, the more you can actually learn on how things work, right? And we use the internet every day for paying bills to. Some people even live their whole lives online nowadays. So cybersecurity is important. So I definitely recommend that you watch this documentary. So anyway, thank you for listening and or watching, and take care.